Hi, everyone, and welcome. It is so good to have you here. I'm Beck Sands. I'm a visibility mentor, and I work with women to become confidently visible so that they can thrive in business and in life. I help women put life changing work out into the world and attract more clients and opportunities by using their creativity and their uniqueness. It's so exciting to be here with you today to chat through this topic, which I really love and I think about pretty much every day, actually, in my business. And it's something that I've really focused on throughout my career, and it has really supported me to retain clients long term and to succeed in positions in my career as well. So, not just in my business, but it's also something that really supported me throughout my 12-year PR career, too. So, this topic is surprise and delight moments that will help you to retain clients. Now, I shared that I was going to be talking about this topic on LinkedIn yesterday, and I had someone mention, oh, over delivering, like that's a different word for over delivering. And I was like, no, it's absolutely not. So I am totally not on board with over delivering because the reason is that when you over deliver, you don't get paid what you're worth, and so you start to really resent the work that you do. When you over deliver, you burn out. When you over deliver, you're basically over servicing and you're not maximizing the use of your time. You're, like wasting energy even because you're doing way too much. So I'm really not on board with over delivering. And that is not what I'm talking about here at all today. So I just wanted to make that really clear delineation before I dive into it. So, yeah, definitely not on board with over delivering. So, yeah, and I can share with you, if you're interested, some of the steps that I take actually to not over deliver in my business. So, if you are interested in that, reach out to me via DM. And I can share through a few tips to reduce over delivery and over servicing in your business if that's something that you are prone to do. And I think that over delivering does come from a place of not feeling worthy of like the work that you're doing or not feeling good enough. And so you feel like you've got to continually give and give and give. And that is 100% not the place that you want to be coming from. You want to start everything from the place that, I'm really good at what I do. I know that I'm delivering an incredible service for my clients or for the business that I work with. And really go from there that you are the best in your industry. And if you're coming from that place, you will strive to be the best. So hopefully today's topic will help you when you're will help you and sharing with you some of these tips will really support you as well so that you can retain those clients long term, or if you're watching and you're still in a job, so that you can really impress the socks off your boss and your colleagues and your team if you're in a position as well. So let's dive into it. So, surprise and delight moments to retain clients long term. So, what I'm talking about here is outside of the scope of your normal job. So, like, obviously you need to deliver what you say you're going to deliver for your clients or for your workplace. This is outside just the day to day delivery of the service that you provide. I think that is like a standard, right? So, I know that you do a good job. Most people do a good job. Most service providers do a good job. And so, because otherwise, if you don't do a good job, then you're probably not going to be there for very long. So most service providers are really good at what they do, and they do provide a really great service. And so, so that's not what I'm talking about today either. So obviously you're doing your job well, you're delivering what you say you're going to deliver for your clients, and things are ticking along really nicely. So these surprise and delight moments are a little bit over and above. Okay. So the first thing that you can do, and this is across the board, whether you are a coach or a consultant, and just a disclaimer. So I started doing them separately. I was like, okay, coach and consultant. And I was writing down all of the different things that you could do as a surprise and delight moment, whether you're a coach or a consultant. And I was like, actually, they're kind of the same. They're kind of the same. Like the principles really do overlap. It might just be the specific actions that change depending on what kind of work that you're doing for them or what kind of service you're providing, but it still really does overlap. And so you can kind of take these and you can tweak them according to the field of expertise that you're in and the service that you're providing for your clients. Okay. So you can totally tweak these. But okay, so here's the list, but this is very much, yeah, like I said, both relevant, whether you're a coach or a consultant, and like whatever kind of service-based work that you're providing your clients as a professional. So the first thing to do is build relationships and truly care for your clients. And this would go for colleagues as well. But I think that sometimes it can feel a little bit disconnected, but everyone is a person. So everyone has, their problems. They've got, things happening in their life, challenges. They've got a life outside of work. They've got things going on. And everyone feels stressed from time to time. Like everyone feels like pressure around work and so on and so forth. So just like build relationships and really care about the clients that you're working with. And, that's not to say you need to be best friends with your clients. You may be, but it does mean to say that, within that kind of professional relationship, you do still want to have that element of, I actually care about you as a human being. Like you're a human being and I do, want to make sure that you're okay as well outside of just getting the job done. So building relationships and really caring for your clients is something that will definitely stand you apart, because I think sometimes people, and it may be that people are really busy and they don't have time or whatever it might be, but sometimes people just become really obsessed with getting the job done and like don't really consider that there are people behind like there's people doing the jobs as well. So you want to make sure that you're building those relationships. Okay. The second thing is things like welcome gifts and creating a really great customer experience. So, yourself as a customer, like when you purchase things, you want to have a really nice streamlined experience. Otherwise, you're not probably likely to purchase again. You're probably not likely to refer whatever that service is. And, you might even walk away with a bit of a sour taste about the whole experience. So I know that this, when it comes to things like, retail and even purchasing online, and, it's nice when things are streamlined and it clicks through and then the delivery comes quickly and you get updates along the way and it's all really nice, right? So that's kind of like more of a product-based environment. But when it comes to creating a really nice customer process for a service-based environment, that is super, super important as well. So you want to consider, what does the onboarding process look like for your clients? So for my coaching clients and like my business mentoring clients, the onboarding process will look like we'll have an initial call. I'll send them an email with details of exactly the next steps, exactly what they're going to expect, because no one likes to guess and no one likes confusion around that. So I'll send them exactly what they're going to get. I'll send them a link to, sign up, which is everything automated, including our coaching agreement and all of the information that they need. I get details from them, like their address for like their best delivery address for the welcome gift, a little, questionnaire, pre-coaching questionnaire. I'll send them a link to any freebies or bonuses that that are, associated with that coaching offering. And they can like directly book into my calendar when they want to do their first session, and they can book them all in if they like. Everything's then automated in terms of invoicing and so on and so forth. So Then, just before our first session, often I'll try and line up the timings for that. They get a really beautiful branded welcome gift, which my virtual assistant organizes. And then, yeah, it's just a really beautiful process. And then throughout the coaching series, I'm very high touch because, I do work with what like one-on-one closely with my clients. And so we do Voxer messaging and things like that in between sessions. We've got a shared document that we work from, which has all of their actions. I'm constantly in touch with them each week, even between sessions, to see how they're going and to see what support they need to like get move towards their goals, and where they're getting stuck as well. And I can support them along the way with that as well. And then after the coaching series ends, I also do a survey, a questionnaire to get some feedback and see, what they're how they're feeling about it and if there were any learnings. But I generally am quite close to my clients, so I know anyway along the way how they're going, and I can tweak accordingly. But the majority of my coaching clients do then choose to continue to work with me long term. So, I think those touch points along the way are so, so important for that customer experience and to really just, to just like help those people feel like they're truly valued, and that they're just having a really great time with you and getting that exceptional support even above and beyond just delivering what it is that you say you're going to deliver. With my consulting clients, it is a similar sort of thing. Like, even though it is different kind of work, I do always like to make sure, for example, they're always kept up to date with things. I like to know what's going on in their world. I have, and what challenges they're facing. Like, if it's in the corporate environment, in their own lives, I'd like to know so that I can support them in any way that I can. And also so that I can help them achieve their KPIs and objectives when it comes to, in being in the corporate environment as well. Cause I know what that's like, having worked for 12 years in corporate and knowing, the reporting back that needs to happen, and those proof points that you do need to show the business for the work that you're doing. So, so I do like to know and support them with that. And then like I'm helping them to achieve their objectives, right? So I always want to know like what the expectations are, for example, and then give them a realistic idea of what I can deliver in accordance with that, or whether, if I can't deliver that, then I'll let them know, but then provide suggestions for something different. So yeah, there's always that kind of communication going. I do have like regular communication. So fortnightly whips with my core clients. Whips are work in progress meetings, and have a document there. Everything is really crystal clear. So they're never going, what's happening? They know exactly how everything works. It's very systemized and very streamlined. So I think that like just gives that trust and that reassurance that their work is in safe hands, and that they know that I'm going to be able to deliver the results. And if I can't, then that I will tell them honestly why and what they can do instead. Okay. So there's that kind of really beautiful customer service experience that you can do. And you can also do things like celebrate with them, big milestones, take them out for lunch, remember birthdays, send Christmas gifts, and so on and so forth. Okay. The next thing that you can do is provide things like presentations and workshops. And I do this for both my coaching and consulting clients. So I will provide, like, it depends how high touch it is in terms of that specific client. For my coaching clients, I'll do, presentations in the form of webinars or challenges or little courses that are also available to the public. But then from a consulting perspective, I will present on various different topics to the business. So as a value add type of activity, depending what it is that they require in their business. So presentations, workshops as a really beautiful value add activity. The other thing you can do is things like, particularly if it's a consulting client, you can do reporting for their stakeholders. So it's a really nice way to showcase the work that you do as well, package it up really nicely, and find ways to provide tangible proof points that the work that you're doing adds value to that company that they can share with their stakeholders as well. So that's another one. You can also do things like provide templates and systems and proven methods to help them achieve the results that they desire and to shortcut the process. If it's a consulting thing and it's done for them, then you may not necessarily give them the tools. But if it's a coaching client or a business mentoring client and they are seeking to, have your guidance but execute on that strategy themselves, then you might want to give them like, anything that's going to make it easier for them to execute and to get that done. So I'm constantly sharing with my clients things like, templates for media pitches and templates for strategy documents and templates for sales pages and templates for, social media copy and templates for, podcast pitches and so on and so forth. So these are the templates that can be really useful when it comes to building a business because often you're, wearing all the hats and you've got so much going on that you don't necessarily have time to create everything from scratch. So if you can use a template, that is so much more it's just easier, and then you can get everything done in a much more time effective way, which means you can grow your business faster and you can get results faster, which who doesn't want that? So that's another thing that I support my clients with. Another thing is to offer things like industry insights and the latest relevant news. So, this is something that I often will share with my clients when it's relevant. So, if I see something in the news, for example, that's relevant for their industry, I will, just flick them an email and say, hey, this has come up. Here's what I think is important about it and relevant for you, just FYI when you have a chance to have a look. If it could be things like competitor stuff that's of interest. It could be things like, if it's a coaching or business mentoring client, it could be a new tool or the latest industry trend or a new podcast they could pitch themselves to or an introduction you could make. I know my business mentor, Michelle Broadbent, who's amazing. She's always, making introductions with other business owners or connections that might be useful. And that's a huge value add for me because I'm always looking to build my audience in that kind of business and entrepreneurial space, but not just audience, sorry, build my network. So yeah, that's a huge value add. And I love that. And, that's really valuable for me. So, think about what's going to be really valuable for your clients and then look to add that. It doesn't need to be on an everyday basis. It could be once a month you think about it or just as it comes up. Like I'm always thinking about my clients. Like I'm always thinking like, okay, what could, like if something comes up that's relevant for them, I'm like, oh, cool. Like I could send that to them and that would be valuable for them. So just kind of coming from that service led approach, which does not need to take extra time, right? So it'll only take a second to just flick an article of interest. Or like a couple of minutes max. If you're creating presentations, obviously that will take time, but you can use those presentations and tweak them for other clients. So you can repurpose and use it again and again. If you're creating things like templates for like a business mentoring client, you can use those templates again and again for future clients. You could even sell them later on, like as, one-offs or as part of part of an online package or something like that. So none of that work is ever wasted. You can use it again. But just and like knowing stuff, like being able to organize a lunch or something with your client that might take an hour out of your day or a couple of hours out of your day. And that, you might only do that once a year. So yeah, there's things that you can do that it's not to do with over servicing or over delivering in any way, shape, or form. It's just finding little ways that are already like time that's built into your day that you can like add a little bit of value and just coming from that service led approach. And that's really going to help you stand out. Um, yeah. So, okay, inspiration and words of encouragement and checking in to see how they're going. This is more for like a business mentoring client, although you can do this for your consulting clients too. But like what do they need right now? Are they launching something? Is it a tough period for them? Can you just send them a little voice note to go, hey, thinking of you, how's it all going? Let me know if you need support or something like that. Like, obviously, you do still need to have boundaries with your clients. So you want to make that clear, and I should have said this before, but you want to make those boundaries actually clear in any agreements, whether that's a coaching or consulting client. You want to make that the arrangements super, super clear in the service agreement when you're signing up and onboarding them, so that both sides are comfortable and know exactly what you're going to be delivering within the parameters of your agreement. And that is how you prevent over delivery. And that's how you manage expectations. And also, you can then exceed expectations a little bit because you've got those parameters in place and everyone knows what it is that you're going to deliver. And then obviously, like, you're likely to still be flexible within certain boundaries. So, for example, like I say I have an agreement that coaching clients can not change their sessions within 24 hours of the next session being booked. Otherwise, they forfeit the session, right? And that's in my official terms of agreement. But of course, like if someone's sick or if like one of my, clients is sick or they need to move it for like some last minute urgent reason. And I'm like, absolutely no problem at all. Like I'll rebook you. That's not a problem. Like so happy to be flexible there. It's only really to cover you so that if someone is doing that to you every single time, that would be really frustrating. And you'd be like, okay, I'm obviously, this is carving into my time and this is, not adhering to the boundaries that I need to set myself in business or set for myself in business. So you can see kind of that delineation, but when you've got those expectations in place, then you can really clearly all be on the same page about it and everyone just feels safe. Like it just provides that additional level of safety and trust that everyone knows what's going on. Okay. Going above and beyond to drive results. So, for example, if one thing doesn't work, suggesting another way of doing it. Now, this is something that you can do for coaching or consulting, really. So, like, it's just being able to pivot when needed. So, this happens all the time. Like, you're suggest something in PR and go, hey, we could try this story angle and see if this works in the media. And then you pitch it in and media's not interested for whatever reason. Maybe they've got way too much news that day. Maybe they've just covered that story. Maybe it just doesn't have that wow factor for them, whatever. So then you can say, okay, cool, that one wasn't of interest, but here's another suggestion for what we could do next, right? Or if it's like a business mentoring client and they've tried something, it doesn't work, then you can say, okay, cool, like that didn't work. Here's a suggestion for what you could do next. Or you could help to draw it out of them. Cool, that didn't work. What learnings can we take from that? And then how can we implement that into a new tweaked strategy to see what works? Because ultimately, coaching, consulting, it's all sort of problem solving. It's all just figuring out a different way to do stuff that's actually going to work. And you don't know until you try it, really. So, there's obviously the element of having done it a million times and you'll know like exactly what to do if things don't work. And you'll know based on experience what generally works and what generally doesn't. So you've got that educated kind of expertise, but you don't know exactly how things are going to go down until they happen, right? Like no one's got a crystal ball. So being able to problem solve is critical when it comes to coaching and consulting. Um, And that was my final one. Actually, I led myself into that. So helping your clients solve problems. This is critical. Like this is just, 101 of coaching and consulting, and just being able to, like, I guess, be okay with when things don't go wrong and know that you can handle it. And I think that comes from experience. It certainly did for me. It probably took me like 10 years to get to that, to get to that mindset of like, okay, if things go wrong, I can handle it. And even if things go wrong and someone gets mad at me, I can handle that. Because like that happens. And that happened a lot, like in the corporate world as well. It doesn't happen now. Like I don't, my clients are really beautiful, but things still sometimes don't work the way that we want them to. And then we have to pivot, but it's totally cool. Like we figure that out. But, I think when you are under pressure to deliver something and things don't work out the way that you necessarily wanted, that can feel really challenging. And so just learning that it's not personal, it's not about you, and there's always another way. There's always a way to move forward. If you just look for the solution, then, if you take that attitude, you can always find a way through that works for everyone. So I hope this has really supported you. I know, it is a culmination of 15 years of work, having this kind of mentality. And so I think, it's something that hopefully will create a bit of a shortcut for you in your work and help you to, really basically impress the socks of your clients and customers so that they do want to continue to sign up and work with you again and again. And so that you can build that thriving business or thriving career, whatever it is that you are building. I know the majority of my audience is now in a business, and, it is a completely different thing to building a career. But, some of these principles when it comes to coaching and consulting and those surprise and delight moments do cross over. So I really hope this has supported you. Let me know some of your aha moments. And of course, like if you've listened to this or watched this on the go and you're like, oh crap, I really should have probably taken notes. Come back and listen to it and write down some of your key takeaways that you're going to implement, because if you listen to this and don't take any action, then it's kind of pointless. Like you want to actually just, get out there and put something into practice that I've spoken about today. And let me know when you do how it works for you and what your biggest takeaways are. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you sign up to my email list at becksands.com. I've got some incredible new offers coming for you soon around my new Confidently Visible platform. So I am writing a book. I've got some new coaching packages coming out, including a Confidently Visible 2-hour strategy session. So I'm going to share more about that, but jump on my email list to be the first to know about it all at becksands.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.